Greetings, judges, and everyone. I'm Abigail Gabriella Aditama,
And I'm Vivian Davina.
and we're from Upaha College High School. Today, we're going to present about the utilization of corn cob agricultural waste into edible, eco-friendly, single-use cutlery to reduce plastic pollution.
So, we all know what plastic is. Plastic is widely used in everyday life. One of its purpose is in the food industry, as single-use cutlery. This has become a major environmental concern for Indonesia, as the country generates about 11.7 million tons of plastic waste a year. 33% of this plastic waste is not being adequately managed, and almost 18% of it is straight up harming both the land and ocean. Why did we choose corn for this? Well, that's because Indonesia has a surplus of corn. Corn is largely cultivated here, and with corn comes corn cobs. Corn cobs are not widely eaten or used, thus making it often agricultural waste. From corn cobs, we can extract corn starch, which contains amylose and amylopectin. Both are glucose monomer chains. Amylose has this property where it can dissolve in water, thus making our cutlery able to dissolve in water and thus making it biodegradable. Meanwhile, amylopectin has this property where it can turn to gel when in contact with water, which will come into play in the methodology later on.
Now let's talk about the problem and our goal. So the problem here, as stated before, is the detrimental impact of cutlery plastic waste produced by the food industry and also the use of toxic materials in plastic production, with it being polystyrene, polypropylene, and polyvinyl chloride. These materials takes a really long time to degrade, and we're talking about thousands of years here, which is why we need to find an alternative solution, and it is our goal to reduce plastic eating utensils with reusing environmental friendly corncob based material that are safe to use and have durability during usage.
Now, how did we do this? Well, first of all, the materials and equipments needed are listed in a slide. I must point out, however, that the materials are all edible, thus making our cutlery also edible, and 100% vegan, as it does not contain glycerol, which is normally extracted from animal fatty acids. Let's start with the starch extraction process. We started by milling corn cobs into a fine powder, and then soaking that powder in aqua des in a 1 to 20 ratio, while heating it to 100 degrees Celsius for 3 hours. We then filtered out the reflux and left it to dry for at least 24 hours. This filtered reflux is then dissolved in a 25% baking soda mixture and heated to 100 degrees Celsius for 60 minutes. We then filtered out the reflux a second time and heated it once more with aqueous to 100 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. Finally, we left it to dry for 24 hours. Which brings me to our edible cutlery making process. We dissolved the cornstarch we made earlier with water and heated it at a temperature ranging from 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. We added vegetable oil and white vinegar and stirred the mixture until the paste formed. Well, this is where amylopectin comes to play. As I mentioned earlier, that amylopectin will turn to some sort of gel or paste when in contact with water. This helps create the paste that you see on the slide right now. After achieving the desired consistency, we remove the paste from the heat and place it into a mold and allowed it to dry for a minimum of 20 hours.
Now, let's talk about the results. So here we did 4 trials while we measured the weight of the edible cutlery, the duration of water solubility, the duration of soil biodegradability, as well as the tensile strength. And as we can all see here, the larger the weight of the edible cutlery is, the longer the duration of this water solubility will be, and also the stronger the tensile strength will be.
Our conclusion and future work. From this experiment, we can conclude that corn cobs can be a great alternative for single-use plastic cutlery, whilst also being 100% vegan.
And for our future work, this research can be expanded to a scope within the food industry, being it food packaging or other necessary items, and also in the medical industry, as we want to aim to find a sustainable material that can be effective to replace and to regenerate the plastic industry itself.
Finally, these are the references we use in our research, and that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.